Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we continue the program with the first sketch.
What do you mean I'm overdrawn? I can't be overdrawn.
Excuse me, I have an appointment.
Everybody hit the floor! Move! Shut up! Do we tell you nobody get hurt?
All right, you know what to do, Four Eyes. Nothing funny. Fill up the bag, we'll be on our way.
You be good, we'll be good. Not so fast, you two. Now throw those weapons on the floor and put your hands up.
Who the hell are you?
I'm Skunkman. You mean Superman? No, Skunkman.
What the hell is Skunk Man?
Now that's enough questions from you. Now throw your weapons on the floor and put your hands up. Why should we? Are you bulletproof? No, I'm not bulletproof.
Well, can you fly?
Yeah. No. Can you send up some kind of ray with your eyes? No, I tell you, I'm Skunkman. Now throw those weapons on the floor and put your hands up.
Hey, what does Skunk Man do?
I have no idea. We were just talking about that. Hey, Skunk Man, what are you known for?
What am I known for?
Yeah.
I am Skunkman.
So?
I spray horrible-smelling fluid like a skunk, okay?
Oh, forget it.
Well, what's wrong with that? It's more than you do.
Hey, Skunk Man. Get lost. Fill up those bags and make it fast.
I'm warning you.
Dry up, Skunk Man.
All right.
Disgusting. That's worse than skunk, too.
Oh, it's like rotten eggs or something.
God, how can anybody go around with that inside them, man?
Hey, Skunk Man, you're really a jerk for doing this.
Really, I don't even want to associate with you. Come on, Tom, let the stink pot have his way.
Yeah, see you later, smell bucket.
Gee, Skunk Man, couldn't you at least be a little bit more accurate?
And look, that's just the way it comes out, okay?
Skunk Man, we don't mean to get down on you, but that is really vile.
Woo! I saved the day, didn't I?
Yeah, but jeez.
Well, it wears off, you know?
Yeah, but geez, Skunk Man.
Oh, it's terrible.
Well, I guess I'll cash my check another day.
Yeah, take care of yourself.
Catch you later, Skunk Man.
Oh, Skunk Man,
Yes?
how do you get the stench out of fabric?
Tomato juice and lemon.
This is the Friday edition with your correspondent, Melanie Chardoff.
Good evening, I'm Melanie Chardoff, and coming up in tonight's Friday edition, an exclusive interview with Senator Edward Kennedy. But first, in these headlines. In a speech on Thursday, President Carter unveiled his military plans in cutting off Iran's oil exports. The president stated that he will set up a naval blockade by dropping Orson Welles into the Persian Gulf. When asked why he was going to do that, President Carter replied, "With Orson there, Iran will sell no oil before it's time." In the same speech, President Carter said he will ask Congress for authority to seal $8 billion in Iranian assets currently in the United States banks into a fund to pay reparations to those Americans who have been hurt most by the Iranian situation. Senator Edward Kennedy immediately responded, saying he would accept his share of the money and thanked the president very much. A nationwide poll released yesterday concluded that if President Carter and Ronald Reagan ran against each other for the presidency, the contest would end in a tie. The poll also shows that Reagan, rather than running strongest amongst conservative Republicans, as was previously thought, derives his true base of support from the nation's motorcycle gangs, heroin addicts, marijuana smokers, and new wave musicians. Yes, and the poll also shows that the average Reagan supporter is under 25 and unemployed. When asked about the results, a top Reagan aide replied, "This confirms what we've known for a long time. The typical Reagan supporter is into sex, drugs, and rock and roll." And in a joint display of energy consciousness, President Carter and Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin, flanked by their aides, saved water by relieving themselves behind a hedge in the Rose Garden. Now, this week's Friday Focus takes a look at a new fad that is sweeping Southern California. For that report, we take you now to Tom Palmer in Malibu.
A nude beach. It's quiet now, but in the 60s, it was the outrageous haven for stripped liberals and eccentric health nuts. But today, over 10 years later, that erotic sunshine subculture has mellowed, conformed in a way, along with the rest of the conservative lifestyles of the 80s. And yet, as a viable element of society, they're still together, still relatively shocking. How have they topped the nude beach? With the underwear beach. You're looking at Fruit of the Loom Cove, favorite beach hangout for underwear people of all ages, although safely tucked away from the public view, whose taste might be offended by such dress. Mostly 100% white cotton briefs with the expandable elastic waistband.
In fact, more and more underwear people have come out of the drawer recently, despite societal prejudices against the blatant wearing of underwear.
Well, I've seen them come in here, usually right before closing time, and they never say a word. They just grab a couple of pieces of underpants and throw them on the counter. Well, I mean, we've got to sell to them.
When they want to wear the underwear in the house, this is their business. But in the shopping mall, it's disgusting.
Oh, I've seen a few when I've been shopping. Guess I shouldn't be prejudiced. They're probably not all bad. But there were a couple cornered me in an alley and snapped their waistband right there.
Recently, some highly respected government employees have been exposed on the job, much to the dismay of City Hall. This year, the Congress is pushing through a bill which, if passed, would forbid teachers dressed only in underwear from working in public schools. With nowhere to go in the city, special underwear bars have sprung up, as well as an emergency underwear hotline number for troubled indigent underpants wearers.
As for the underwear people, they refuse to change.
I like underpants.
Thank you very, very much, Tom Palmer, for that report. And now in other news. In an effort to show support for President Carter's move against the Moscow Olympics, General Mills announced today that Wheaties will now be known as the breakfast of boycotters. In sports, Triple Crown winner Secretariat has published his long-awaited autobiography entitled Weren't Born No Human. Warner Brothers today announced they intend to purchase the film rights with Johnny Watt in the lead role. Now, the presidential primary of Pennsylvania is now but 4 days away, and campaign experts are calling it a must-win for President Carter's chief Democratic rival, Ted Kennedy. He's with us in our Pennsylvania studios this evening. Senator Kennedy, welcome to the Friday edition.
Thank you, Miss Chartoff. It's a pleasure to be here.
Senator, if you're defeated in Pennsylvania, do you really think you can continue as a serious candidate?
We plan to win big in Pennsylvania. The people of this state are seeking new alternatives, new ideas, new frontiers. Ich bin ein Philadelphian. Ich bin ein Philadelphian.
Senator, there's really no need to shout.
I'm glad. My throat is killing me.
Good. Now, Senator Kennedy, what about the issues? Rising housing costs, spiraling interest rates, in other words, double-digit inflation.
Well, my record has been continually spelled out on these matters throughout the campaign. But I believe the American public wants to know more about the real issues.
And what are those issues, Senator?
My wife, Chappaquiddick, Jackie's private life. These are the issues that are going to shape this country in the next 4 years and for many generations to come.
Senator, you've been a very strong critic of the Carter administration's handling of the crisis in Iran. Now, do you have a plan to end the crisis?
Yes, I certainly do. I would wheel an enormous hollow pita bread up to the gates of the embassy, and inside this giant piece of pita bread will be 200 soldiers disguised as falafel. And when the militant students come out to have a snack, the soldiers dressed as falafel will leap out and free the hostages.
Senator, excuse me, Senator, but this appears to be a rather ludicrous plan.
At least I have a plan!
Thank you very much, Senator Kennedy. I want to thank Senator Kennedy for being with us on the Friday edition and invite you all to join us next week when we will profile Gordon Liddy. Kook, would-be killer, or simply high on life. I'm Melanie Chardoff. Have a great weekend.
This has been the Friday edition with your correspondent, Melanie Chardoff.
Hello, and welcome again to Akron AM. I'm your host, Don Williams. Now, yesterday on this, the call-in portion of the show, our topic was, what kind of a dog would you like to own? And today, something just a touch more serious, a look at the homosexual problem. And that ought to quiet some of the critics out there who say we don't take on the hard issues on Akron AM. And to help us with our topic is a man who has made counseling the homosexual his life's work, Pastor James Babbitt.
Thank you, Don. You know, in today's modern world, you hear about a lot of crazy things going on. Homosexual marriages, homosexual parades, homosexual discos, pina coladas, designer sheets coming out of the homosexual closet. What's it all about? Well, we hope to show you today as we ask homosexuals to call us, talk to us, tell us your problems. We'd like to help.
And without further ado, let's grab line one and talk to our first homosexual.
Hello?
Who am I talking to? First names only?
Jim.
Okay, and Jim, you are a self-accused, self-confessed, self-acknowledged homosexual. Is that correct?
Yes, Don, I am.
Okay, tell us your story.
And you can be frank.
Well, let's see. I'm 34. I've been gay for 18 years. I've had the same lover, Brian, for 9 years. We both have good jobs. I'm an MD and Brian's a lawyer. And we both feel lucky to know who we are and accept it as being perfectly natural and normal.
One problem, of course, with these controversial topics is the crank caller. I apologize to Pastor Babbitt and to my viewers. Now, let's get to the phones and talk to some real homos. Line two, who am I talking with?
Hi, my name's Valerie, and I've got a bit of a problem.
You sound deeply disturbed. So please, take your time.
Well, there's just some things I need to know, you know. Like I met this really great girl, and I want to know on the first date, should I pay for dinner or should I let her treat me?
Honey, I say, why don't you just pick up a copy of Emily Post and substitute she for he? Your thoughts, Pastor?
I would just like to suggest to the young lady that she get down on her hands and knees and beg the Lord God for forgiveness.
Well, there you go. 2 solutions to a common problem. Thanks for the call.
You know, Don, It saddens me, but it doesn't surprise me.
Line 3, you're on the air with Pastor Babbitt.
Hi, I'm Steve.
Okay, Steve, I don't mean to insult you, but are you a homosexual?
Well, I'm worried. I have these feelings, but I just don't know how to tell anybody.
Maybe I can clear it up for you, son. Do you have a subscription to Apartment Life? Can you make a decent souffle?
No.
Well, then, are you bad at sports?
Yes, but I didn't know that.
Now,
that
Steve, don't become alarmed. Don is right in thinking there may be warning signs, but let me take a long, hard squint at this particular problem. Do you find you want to spend more of your time with your male friends than with the girls you know?
Yes, that's why.
Do you find that there is a male instructor at school you like just a little too much? Do you find that whenever he comes near, your heart begins to pound and you feel fit to burst?
Well, not with a teacher.
And do you find that your father never gave you enough love? He had lots of time for other people, oh, sure, but never enough for you. You weren't man enough for him. You weren't good enough for the name Babbitt.
My name's not Babbitt.
And then you find yourself down going into the bars and keeping the kind of company you deserve because you're a singing fairy. And then you move away to Akron to get away from your ugly thoughts. But you find yourself down preaching to the men on the docks, and they smell of the salt sea air. And who could blame them if they turn to each other on those lonely nights on the boats?
Pastor, I think the young man is
And then you find yourself on TV, sitting across from a man with pablum for brains and a face like the backside of an Angus steer. But you want him. Oh, gracious saints above, you want him so bad you can hardly breathe. You can hear the blood pounding.
Pastor, I've enjoyed this, but we've got to get on with the cooking portion of the show.
Voice. You've never seen anything like it. You know he's daft, but you want to bury your face in his
So, my thanks to the
jacket.
pastor, but we've got to go because we've got a recipe for apple cobbler
his
coming
broad
up.
shoulders, your filthy
Go to
eyes are
commercial.
wandering all
Go to
over his
commercial.
gabardine slacks.
Go to commercial.
And all you can think about is dancing
Cut him
in
off.
the moonlight.
Cut him off. Go to commercial.
Soft music.
Get him off.
Accordions.
Get him off.
And now, here are the Boomtown Rats!
this, I deserve to get at least once or twice.
The following is a dramatization based on an actual documented event which took place in the rugged, primitive mountains of Ukraine in the summer of 1551. And to this day, it has left the world's greatest minds with the same baffling conclusion, that the event you are about to see is stranger than anything.
Brešťada. Laska mi stoskask.
Sofia, kak sam dos pravios.
Me, divo latka, divo meken, divo pluska ba?
Kak sam dos pravios.
Breska figo, šela.
Brešťada.
Schla. Ich muss ein Lackjack.
Sofia?
Uskalan, sekilo shiva.
Skovia?
Schla. Oni fiper is pliškaba.
Pliškaba? Iska sapa, pliškaba.
Skalushkin, skalushkin. Krabben staan lieke fiper als snokken in te zeggen, je kan dat van tot je oren.
Dudu. Laska minskosk. Lafas nikes, ja vas lulos.
Ostjasnago!
Sko. Oni fiper is niška.
Niška? Plovka minetsk niška.
Skalushkin, skalushkin. Jakken to de slapdap. Jakken niet voor dubig rania. Je tot jou, je vlakken liep.
Vlakken liep? Nago me.
Go.
Ostjasnago!
Dafka panes, das wat luden?
Zo, plots een omni hoor.
Divkat pant.
Dan dus geen flikkets.
Skaska badskaska Sofia.
Dafka dus vergenda.
Sagabef, usta safsupja. Instansan, brustansan, flippers.
Negi.
Das du si varavun, som difras. Ustansan safja, san safja supja.
Jan Jori negi fokustin. Jan fokustin is pieren onderlag.
Kim du was?
Mensen met een dobbelgerijn komt er een link in. Wat je zeggen? Jori gaat dan tot je oren. Deze kan het als stoerslag slaan.
Letka.
Vitka.
Skiafos. Sonsias. Jas mastas prugasta.
got a name, don't you?
Candy.
Candy. That's sweet. Well, my name's Dick. You, want another drink? I'll buy you one. I got money.
I got one, thanks.
Well. You know, you're a pretty good-looking woman. And I'm a pretty good-looking guy. Maybe we ought to get together and boogie. Pick it up, Jack.
No.
Well, maybe I'll go and dance with some of the other girls. Huh? Is that what you want?
What's happening, man?
Hi there. Just talking to the lady.
Beat it.
Right on. Hey, you want a boogie?
Oh, sure. But what I'd really like is to be tied down, covered with corn oil, called filthy names, and beaten with a leather strap.
Coming out in 5 minutes.
How do I look?
Oh, God, your eyeshadow's all smudged.
So's yours.
Somebody's coming. Somebody's coming.
Oh, it's just the office boy.
You girls will have to leave.
Hey, we're waiting for the CPAs, if you don't mind.
They left through another exit.
Oh, we missed them.
No, he's just trying to get rid of us. We ain't moving, kid.
I'm not leaving until I see the commodity specialist in the flesh.
Hey, don't worry, baby. I know somebody in the head office, okay?
Oh, sure, sure. I've heard it all before. You're just accountant groupies.
Office boy!
Hey, listen, you two. I'm still not so sure I'm into this. I mean, accountants are supposed to be really boring.
Honey, don't worry about it. Look, I was front row center for the Beatles in '66. I rushed the stage for Bowie in his Stardust period, and I practically discovered Devo, okay? But those guys are nothing compared to Morton Feinstein.
He taught me the meaning of tangible assets.
We'll see. We'll see.
Hey, wait, somebody is coming.
I see Mr. DeForest.
Oh, God, would you look at the bulge in his attaché case, huh? Hi, Mr. DeForest. How was the dividends interest conference?
It was fine. However, we did encounter some mathematical discrepancies.
Oh, they had discrepancies.
Listen, would you tell us something about consumer durables, please? Oh, please, please, just for a second, Mr. Ogilvy, huh? Oh, what if we come back tomorrow, Mr. Ogilvy?
Morton, would you sign my 1040?
Morton, I've read all your financial reports.
Excuse me, Morton. Could I just ask you something? If personal property is bought under a contract providing for payment by installments, then is it still subject to limitation payments?
The answer is yes.
Martin, I hear you got the biggest calculator in the business.
Cast of that one.
It floats to 9 decimal places.
Oh, I bet it does.
Now, I've got to go or I'll miss that 610.
Oh, I touched his jacket. Did you see?
Well, what do you think, huh?
Oh, you were right. You were right. Come on, let's hurry. Why? Where are we going?
Price Waterhouse closes in 5 minutes.
What are we waiting for?
Hey, girls, I'm talking office supplies. You know what I'm saying?
Now, once again, here are the Boomtown Rats.
The silicon chip inside her head gets switched to overload. And nobody's gonna go to school today. She's gonna make them stay at home. And Daddy doesn't understand it. He always said she was good as gold. And he can see no reasons, 'cause there are no reasons. What reason do you need to be shown? Tell me why I don't like Mondays. Tell me why I don't like Mondays. Tell me why I don't like Mondays. I wanna shoot the whole day down. The telex machine is kept so clean and it types to a waiting world. I'm gonna feel so shocked by this world is rocked, and the thoughts turn to their own little girl. Sweet 16, ain't that peachy keen when it ain't so neat to admit defeat. They can see no reasons, 'cause there are no reasons. What reason do you need? Tell me why I don't like Mondays. Tell me why I don't like Mondays. Tell me why I don't like Mondays. I wanna shoot the whole day down, 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 shoot it all down. Another playing stopped in the playground now. She wants to play with her toys a while. And school's out early and soon we'll be learning. And the lesson today is how to die. And then the bullhorn crackles and the captain tackles with the problems in the house and life. And he can see no reasons, 'cause there are no reasons. What reason do you need to die? Die, oh, when the silicon
This is intolerable. I don't know how we can go on with...
Excuse me, gentlemen, but is there anything I can get you whilst you're waiting?
Well, where is Secretary of State Cyrus Vance?
We have been here an hour.
He should realize our time is precious.
I'm terribly sorry.
Das Verdonja. Umsalansky Cyrus Vance.
Gentlemen, the Secretary of State has arrived.
Please, don't get up.
But who are you?
Solly Mullins.
Where is Secretary Vance?
Oh, he couldn't make it today. He's got a stomach ache. The agency sent me to fill in for him.
Agency? What are you talking about?
Oh, I'm with Work Power. It's a temporary agency. They send me out on different jobs.
Different jobs? Do you have any experience in foreign policy?
No, but I once dated a Puerto Rican.
Well, this is highly intolerable.
I beg your pardon. I don't believe we've been introduced.
I am Lord Carrington, British Foreign Secretary.
Hello, Lord.
I am Francois de la Boulier, French envoy to the United States.
It is a pleasure.
And I am Andrei Gromyko, Foreign Minister of the Soviet Union.
Ugh. Are you a communist? You people, you're so drab. What's the matter? You never heard of the color purple? Gotta wear mufflers all the time. You can't get takeout. God forbid you should open a book.
We read books.
Yeah, what? Trotsky? Yeah, real funny guy. Well, let me tell you something else. I don't go for this Afghanistan business. Well, you just go in and invade? You want to pick on somebody? Come on, pick on me.
Sorry, really?
No, he's got it coming.
The people of Afghanistan need our protection.
Those people don't need your protection. They go to Mecca, they wear schmatters. Do me a favor, live and let live, for crying out loud. Mr. Big Shot Communist over here.
Gentlemen, please, can we get on with the agenda? Now, we really must discuss a joint congratulatory message to the new Republic of Zimbabwe.
Oh, yes, Zimbabwe. Terrible, terrible situation. What the hell is that?
It is in Africa.
Africa. It's quite a continent. It's good to be a cannibal. Real normal people.
What are you saying? This is foolish. I refuse to listen to this.
Hey, listen, you know, you people seem to think that because you gave us the Statue of Liberty, you can open up a mouth like that. Big deal, the Statue of Liberty. It's a piece of junk.
What are you saying? It is a joyful symbol of freedom to millions of immigrants that come to this country. It is magnifique. It is a divine piece of art.
What are you, a mutant?
Please. Please, stop this. I would like to discuss your military stance in the Persian Gulf.
Of course. Persian Gulf, yes. Mr. Gromyko, speaking on behalf of the government of the United States of America, just let me say that any attempts to blackmail us with oil will be repudiated. You seem to think Americans need cars. Poppycock. We'll take a bus. I realize it's a bit of an inconvenience, no question about it, but it's a mode of transportation. Oh, yes, I know what you're going to say. Americans won't take the bus. Poppycock. I adore the bus. It's big, it's burly, it's got a certain flair. Why, just the other day, my wife Ruthie remarked to me how quickly the bus had come.
What are you talking about?
My dear Lord Carrington, I'm talking about the bus.
My God, man, we've indulged you long enough. Now, I'll be reporting to Home Secretary Mrs. Gisby tomorrow, and I think she will be most distressed at today's proceedings.
That doesn't intimidate me. You think I care about the opinion of a renowned lesbian?
Well, that's
Gentlemen, come. My embassy will be notified in the morning. There's a sensitive matter here.
I think you should know that our country will not be supporting you in your boycott of the Olympics.
Okay, good. Then why don't you just go home and make a sauce? Oh, Dickens.
Well, how did it go?
Quite well, I think. What's next on the agenda?
Well, you have a meeting with the Joint Chiefs regarding SALT II.
SALT II. Good. I've been a little worried about this nuclear business. Sounds like fun.
coming this fall. An ex-cop. Now he's working for himself. He took a job that most men wouldn't want. Security guard. His assignment? Keep intruders away from things they have no business being around. All the intrigue. All the danger. All the excitement that is security guard. It's a rotten job, but somebody has to do it.
Security guard, Fridays, 11:30, 10:30 Central.
From the Divinity Disco, it's time to get funky for God. On TV's only religious disco dance program, Shake Your Faith. And now, here's your host, the man who's tight with the ghost, Reverend Ray.
Praise the Lord, and bless my platform souls. And welcome to the show where we boogie, get down, and get holy with the man upstairs. You know, so when if you dance your last dance and you're ready to get into that big Studio 54 in the sky, remember that only God can get you past the bouncer. Yes, sir. And now I want to, here she is, the First Lady of Orgasmic Gospel, Donna Samaritan. Yeah! And remember, this portion of Shake Your Faith is brought to you by Clear Soul. Clear Soul Sin Cream cleanses the soul as it clears up your face. Hallelujah. All right, now we're going to have to clear the dance floor. Clear the floor. Clear everything away because we got a biggie coming for you right now. We got a biggie coming for you. And right now, I want to introduce those far-out religious fanatics, our special guests, the Village People.
You can learn to sit and pray. In the convent. You will do it every day. In the convent. Please don't ask about the pay. In the convent. In the convent. In the convent. You can cover up your butt. In the convent.
You will give up sex for God.
In the convent. Lots of people think we're odd. In the convent. In the convent.
You can tell by the way I bear my beard, I'm a holy man. I'll some beard. Oi, 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 stay a Jew, stay a Jew. Oi, 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 stay a Jew, stay a Jew. I don't eat shrimp and I won't touch clams. Don't come near me with no glazed ham. Oi, 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 stay a Jew, stay a Jew. Oi, 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 stay a Jew, stay a Jew.
Shake it, shake it, shake it. Shake your Buddha. Shake your Buddha. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Oh. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Shake your Buddha. Shake your Buddha. You should be chanting. Yeah. You should be chanting. Yeah. If you think I'm holy and you like my dancing, how about giving me some bread? Will you buy some incense? What about that pamphlet book? You have to shake your head. Do you think we're holy? Then come on and join. Do you think we're holy? Then come on and join.
Hey, hallelujah. That's our show for tonight. And be sure to join us next week when we all get down like John the Baptist and boogie our heads off.
Thanks very much. I'm Larry David. Speaking on behalf of the cast, I'd like to thank our guests, the Boomtown Rats. And, of course, next week, if you'll join us, our guest will be The Jam. And then we'll have The Journey and a lot of groups with J's that are very popular this year. Thanks very much. Good night. Thank you.